Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoin Guides, being my guide for God of War 3 on Chaos difficulty. Today we're doing part 13 entitled The Caverns 2. The Caverns Do. The Caverns Part 2. Whatever you like to call it, however you like to splice it. Whatever, whichever way, it's technically supposed to be said. But yeah, so this is going to be the part that unfortunately has the Onyx Scorpion boss fight. And in my opinion, definitely one of the worst. When I say worst, I don't mean that it's a bad boss fight. You know, technically speaking, I mean it's definitely one of the hardest boss fights. That's what I should say. It's definitely one of the worst to get through on Chaos mode, in my opinion, for sure, without a doubt. Along with the 3 judges Cerberus fight. That's also one that definitely takes the cake in terms of being an ass about almost everything. But that's for later, and this is now. So, for most of the beginning part of this area, there's not much I would say that's too difficult. Like, yeah, you got the Cyclops fight that comes up pretty soon, in like the next minute. Well, less than a minute. You got that. But for the most part, you have a lot of just small little scorpions that kind of go through, and you see them around everywhere, and just, you know, iframe, grab stuff, typical thing. Cestus works wonders on them, by the way. Cestus just works wonders on almost everything in this goddamn game. Also, keep in mind that the head of Helios, I should just say the head or just Helios, I don't know why I say both. But yes, if you notice, if you definitely do, you know, pay attention to the scorpions while you use it, you will see that they do end up actually getting stunned for just even a few seconds. So remember that for later if you wish to use that ability in the fight itself for the Onyx Scorpion. Although I don't particularly recommend it too much, but I do use it every once in a while. But not when the Onyx Scorpion boss is out itself. I don't use the head then. But you'll see when we get there in the next 9, 8, whatever, however long it takes before I get there. I don't remember. So, Cyclops fight. These are just 2 Cyclopses. You fought these kinds of guys before. By now you should be kind of used to them. I kind of... Not kind of. I would... Wait. Did I edit this properly? Oh, no. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. So I'm using the Cestus here, but I didn't want to because I don't feel like the Cestus is, like, it's strong, yes, but its dodge is what kind of gets me. Like, yeah, it does have like a bit of a quote-unquote fast dodge, but you don't go very far with it though, and that's the thing that I don't like. And so I just switched to the blades immediately just to kind of use that more effectively. And keep in mind that I'm not using the bow here, not because I don't want to, but just because I forgot to. So typically when I don't use the bow for something, that's because I just simply forgot that I had the damn thing until after I remembered, like, wait a minute, I remember now. But yeah, the regular armor Cyclopses, I mean, they're not anything too difficult to just, you know, hit them, dodge to the right of their right hand, do the Dark Souls dodge type thing where you dodge in the same direction as their hand. Basically, it's on the right hand, dodge to the right of them while you're in front of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Dodge to their left. So that way you can avoid their weapons. And then after that, after you kill, like, the first main Cyclops, big giant troll one spawns. He's got less health than these guys do, so try to focus on him. If things get a little tight like they did there for me, I'd say go use magic. It doesn't matter what magic, as long as you use magic that has iframes, which, I mean, all of them do, but I would say, actually, I would recommend not using Hades and Nemesis Whip magic for that. I would say use something that's AoE based, so Cestus / Blades. And then for this here, just try to get as many hits in as you possibly can. You're not going to probably kill them in one go. You might be able to, but I don't think you probably could. Not you guys yourselves. I'm saying, like, I don't think, generally speaking, that it might be possible. I'm not 100% sure. I've never found out. But yeah, try your best to get them in circle is kind of the idea with the troll there. And then after you've done a good bit of damage, you know, hopefully one of them's in circle so you get some, you know, time to take a bit of a breather. And then just, if they become too much of a problem, then hopefully by now you have full magic and you can just use your AoE magic. I think I have level 4 blades. Or maybe level 5, I don't remember. No, I got level 5. Yeah, because we had the Army of Sparta level 3 for the satyrs in the last video. Yeah. So I have level 3 for Army of Sparta magic, and that's what's really helping me kind of win this fight. So, yeah, see how I'm not using it too often? I'm just kind of using it just to either get away, give myself some space to breathe, or just even potentially get that extra bit of damage. And if you got one alone, you can always just use Cestus to kind of get potentially more damage going without the effect of needing to dodge too much. Because the Cestus dodge is not bad, it just unfortunately has the problem of, well, you don't really go that far with it. And it takes a bit to kind of get into the next dodge. Even though I said before it was kind of fast, but it's not enough. It's not enough time for me, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. I need that you know, Blades of Chaos roll type thing where I can just roll, press square, and do that. I think in the next video, for my next recording, not this next part for you guys, but for me, which is going to the Zeus stuff, I might try doing a Blades roll type thing for the Cestus, because I think you probably could do it. I think you need to hit X and not square for that to work. So I'll try that out. I'll test it out. I'll see if I can do it or not, but I don't think you can. Anyway, Cyclopses, I would say they're probably like medium difficulty for specifically this chapter. They're definitely nothing to smirk at, you know, when it comes to how difficult they can be. Because like once there's like 4 on screen at once, it's just a nightmare. I got lucky to even get out of that damn thing, to be honest with you. But yeah, so again, if things get really too bad, you can always rely on magic to kind of get yourself out of a sticky situation. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I'm just kind of tired, I guess. It's been a long day, so that would probably explain it. But I feel like I haven't even done much. I recorded an update video for my main channel, so that way people know what's coming for them for this year. And then after I get done with God of War 3, I'll make one for you guys too. That's the plan. And I've already mentioned this before, but there may or may not be a lot of content for hardcore this year, but we'll see. We'll see how life treats me, I guess. It's only like January. We haven't gotten that far through. You know, we still got like a whole 12 fucking months to prove whatever it is I need to prove. But I still need to find out what game I want to do next for the channel. I still don't know. I don't think I have a good enough idea. I might just say screw it and just go with just keep doing God of Wars for a bit, honestly. At this point, I think that would be the most beneficial thing for the channel, is just sticking with God of War content for as long as I can milk it, I guess you could say. Which isn't very long. I would like to do more Bioshock stuff. That'd be neat. But yeah, so back to the game. Just wait for a Gorgon to use her gaze. And then after that, just whack them down with Cestus. Get a free good couple of kills on Harpies / Gorgons. There's not too many of them, really. Like, what, four Harpies maybe, and like 2 Gorgons? That's not that bad. Before you go that way, come back here, and you can find yourself a little small spot. A nice platform that gets you access to a couple of more chests. And also, do bear in mind that I'm not going to be getting a lot of Minotaur horns for a while. Because for some reason the game decided to give me nothing but big orbs. Big orb chests. So, hey, I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the game. I don't know. I failed to get that other Minotaur horn that I was supposed to have, and that's why I'm paying the price. Usually with God of War games, they're very, very lenient about stuff like that. If you forget a chest or you never knew there was a chest there, they typically are pretty damn lenient about, like, eventually giving you what you would have gotten, which is awesome, in my opinion. That's always been, like, one of the crowning jewels of God of War, I would say, is the simple fact that they just don't treat you like dog shit. Yeah, sure, sometimes some things are a bit harder than others. Sometimes some things are a bit more unbalanced or unfair. But in all reality, you're playing a game on fucking hard. You're probably going to have to face something hard eventually. But Even on normal, like, yeah, the Gauntlet from 2, yeah, still kind of a bit cheap, but yeah, it's end game stuff, you know. I don't know. I personally don't feel like they're too much bastards, I guess. So, yep, all right. Level 4 Cestus at this point. If you don't have level 4, level 3 works just fine too. I mean, fucking any of them do, really. But I would say try to get your Cestus upgraded as fast as you can before the Onyx Scorpion. A little faster than what I did. I would also say make your Cestus maybe potentially more upgraded than your blades as well. I would say focus on that for a bit too. But yeah, so now we have to deal with the small scorpions. I just use the head to kind of just get free, quick stun. Nothing special about it, but just to kind of get myself in there. Now, watch how, like, when I'm fighting the small scorpions, I'm also dodging after I do a few attacks. And how, like, almost after every usual combo, I try to go and do a dodge. Do that all the time with them, because they're fucking annoying. So right there, I do a jump dodge, so that way I can get to this side quicker. The tail is starting to come down, so there's no good way to really dodge against the tail. It's just really, really fucking hard to dodge in this fight, no matter what, if you're on the side of the scorpion boss itself. So either go for that grab on a small scorpion if they happen to be around, or just use magic like I do. And that's my best advice for this entire fight. My other good advice, I guess I could say, is if you're surrounded by the small scorpions and you're just not having a good time with them, which, by the way, you won't. I can guarantee that. This shit sucks. Also, even if you try to get behind the scorpion, that tail's still going to hit you. It has a very stupid, weird hitbox shit to it. You got to get, like, almost in front of the fucking scorpion's face to dodge the whole thing, it seems. So keep that in mind. But yeah, if you want another piece of advice, if you're surrounded by small scorpions too much and the tail's not coming down, you got time, L1 square. L1 square works wonders. It knocks away the small scorpions, it gets them off your ass, and it does damage. And another really, really good point that I can give is just keep at it. I mean, this fight sucks. It really, really does. But one thing is for certain, though, if you just put some time into it and just learn the pattern, learn when to dodge, this fight becomes way easier than it was before, but it's still kind of difficult if you ask me. Because you never have enough time to, like, break the legs. Something else to also try to do, and keep in mind, is for that first set of legs, like the left or the right, whichever one you start with, you can break all 3 of those crystals before the scorpion starts going into this phase. And that's something to keep in mind as you want to try to, of course, beat them down as much as you can. But do pay attention to, like, the damage on the crystals, like how much damage you're doing to a single crystal too. And try to attack more than one at a time, which also helps. And usually, like, after every first hit, you turn it yellow. These things don't, like, regenerate or anything, as far as I'm aware. They shouldn't. But it's getting through that yellow and getting through that red that really, really just fucking blows. But another point I could make too is try to get all 3 of them red before you just break one fully. If you need, like, a small, tiny breather, because technically if you break a leg, it will effectively kind of do, like, a small stun on the scorpion boss. So I guess you could always use that too to your advantage if you time your stuff right. But yeah, really, this is just all about remembering, like, which one's close to being destroyed and which ones are not. Just basically management at this point. I know this is a guide and I'm supposed to give the best advice I can, but I don't really have, like, super professional advice for this besides, again, you know, just like what I said, when the little bastards are just surrounding you and when the tail's about to slam, use magic. Yeah, you don't technically have to dodge directly in front of the scorpion, but still, it feels like you have to. It almost does. And the dodging part of it, like, if you want to get out of that area quick, jump dodge is also pretty decent to do too. As you can see there, that gets you in the air faster than you would be using Cestus. You could also quick change to a weapon, not just L1X, but, like, actually on the D-pad, maybe quick change to, like, the Blades of Chaos to do those fast rolls to get out of there too. So that could also help. And other than that, yeah, this is just a war of attrition. There's nothing more to this I can really exactly prescribe besides, yeah, just fucking hit it. Just hit it harder every single time. Just, yeah, just keep going at it. And whenever the boss drops, you want to use the Rage of Sparta to get some triangle hits in. Specifically triangle hits. Don't worry about doing square hits too much. Just do triangle hits. Don't worry about the scorpions around you either. They're nothing. They're fodder at that point. And again, if they do get annoying while you're attacking the leg, L1 square. So I think you should at least have Cestus level 2 or level 3 at this point in time in order to have access to that, because it makes that just a tad bit easier to deal with. And the best part about this fight, though, is the fact that it doesn't actually have a lot of health. It surprisingly is much quicker to kill. It just does a shit ton of damage at all times. Those tail slams are stupid. And it never really ever does the poke thing that it does, where it'll stick its tail in the ground and shoot up ice. Even if it does do that, it's not really much of a threat. But it hardly ever did that for me, and I don't every time I play this fight, it never does that very often. So, or if at all. So realistically, you only need one attack to worry about, and if you get too close to the claws, it will strike at you a little bit too. So keep that in mind as well. And you can't dodge behind it. So if you're trying to dodge the tail that way, that's not gonna cut it. You're gonna have to dodge the technical proper way, I guess you could say. You're gonna have to just try to dodge into the front, and again, jump dodge if you're using Cestus like I was, which you're gonna have to break them. But like, if you're not gonna switch to blades to roll fast, and you're gonna be using Cestus, then I would also recommend using the jump dodge, because the dodging for the Cestus has a weird lock-on mechanic where, for some reason, I think it's just a Cestus in general, I think, just has like this really odd lock-on thing to it that's really hard, a hard lock-on. Where you try to dodge away from those specific legs, and you just can't get out because you're just, like, Kratos just won't let you out. He just dodges toward the legs still, even when you're trying to get far away from it, you know. But if you're not at that right distance, then you're not going to be able to get away, and that's why I recommend using jump dodge if you're going to be using Cestus the whole time and not switching between other weapons and stuff. So that way you can kind of get out of there fast and clean. It takes a bit of practice, takes a bit of time to get used to, but yeah, you'll get used to it. This also took me fucking forever to do. The entire boss fight in general, I mean, it just sucked. So next up, we have Gorgon fight with minions. And the thing is, you want to keep that Gorgon out, so that way you can use her to use on these shield guys. If you're like me and you just hate fighting the shield enemies, which is perfectly normal and sane, by the way, if you're having trouble like I usually do, then your best bet is just to kind of just keep a Gorgon around, so that way you can use its stare to turn these guys into stone and break them that way. Make everything much easier to kind of deal with. And L1 square also works pretty okay on shield guys too, by the way, just throwing that out there. It's a nice move to kind of just, you know, get them away from you. I think L1 triangle actually can break shields, or at least get them in red, or do enough damage to get close to that. But I would still, if I was going to use an L1 attack, I would definitely be using square for that. And yeah, I don't really have the best advice when it comes to the shield guys, besides just hit them, knock them back, hit them, knock them back, that kind of thing. And if they're like in a huge group and they're really surrounding you, then Cestus magic can also get you out of that too. And then in this case, if you got Gorgons around you, then use them. Which is funny, because I remember while I was playing this, I'm like, where the fuck did that Gorgon go? Because I had like that second Gorgon out, but she disappeared. I think she fell off or got knocked off. Which is funny, because while watching this same video, I'm thinking the same thing as I did while I was playing. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? We had like one more. But no, we're done. So I got lucky and knocked her off, I guess. Not knocked her up, but I knocked her off. Yeah, after that, full level Cestus, and we're pretty much good to go. And hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see y'all next time for the next part. And as always, take care, everybody.